This is the North American P-51D Mustang, the ultimate long-range fighter that changed the course of the Second World War. It was the first Allied fighter aircraft capable of escorting heavy bombers from Great Britain deep into the heart of Berlin and over the oil fields of Ploiesti. We have recreated the P-51D Mustang down to the smallest detail to explore this military marvel inside and out. We will uncover the secrets of its laminar flow wing, tear down the massive V12 engine, and show you why a full drop tank could turn this machine into a deadly trap for its own pilots. My name is Ivan, and this is my History Channel. Originally designed in 1940 for the British Royal Air Force, the Mustang quickly became a legend. In its ultimate D variant, the aircraft is 9.83 meters long, 4.17 meters high, and has a wingspan of 11.28 meters. It weighs around 3,465 kilograms empty, but can take off with a maximum weight of up to 5,490 kilograms. The entire fuselage consists of a lightweight, semi-monocoque aluminium structure, rigorously assembled with flush rivets. However, the true secret to its extreme speed of over 700 kilometers per hour lay in the revolutionary laminar flow airfoil of the wings. Unlike conventional wings, the thickest part of the profile was located much further back from the leading edge. This drastically reduced turbulent airflow. To avoid disturbing this sensitive aerodynamic profile, the leading edges were filled with putty and polished by hand to a mirror finish. Let's tear open the shell and look at the heart of the beast. Early versions of the Mustang, like the P-51A, suffered from a massive problem. Powered by an Allison engine, the aircraft literally ran out of breath above 15,000 feet in the thin air. Salvation came in the form of this engine right here, the Packard V-1650-7, a license-built, liquid-cooled Rolls-Royce Merlin V12 engine, delivering 1,490 horsepower. The real magic sat at the rear of the engine block. The Merlin featured a two-speed, two-stage supercharger. The ram air forced through the intake scoop was extremely compressed. Between 14,500 and 19,500 feet, a barometric switch automatically shifted the system into high gear, the high blower. The compression ratio jumped from 5.8 to 1 up to a massive 7.35 to 1. This allowed the Mustang to maintain its manifold pressure and follow the bombers effortlessly into the stratosphere. The system was cooled by two entirely separate circuits sharing the same belly radiator. A high-pressure system with 16.7 gallons cooled the engine itself, while a 4.8-gallon low-pressure system cooled the compressed fuel-air mixture in the aftercooler. For absolute emergencies, there was the War Emergency Power, WEP. If the pilot forcefully pushed the throttle past its stop, a safety wire would snap. The manifold pressure instantly surged from a regular 61 to 67 inches of mercury, unleashing a massive power boost for up to 5 minutes. The armament of the P-51D was devastating. 6.50 caliber M2 Browning machine guns sat upright inside the wings, a design choice that prevented jamming under high G-forces. The two inner guns had 400 rounds each, while the middle and outer guns had 270 rounds each, a total of 1,880 deadly projectiles. On the ground, they were calibrated so their fire converged at a point roughly 250 to 300 yards ahead of the aircraft. For ground attacks, it could carry 2 500-pound bombs or up to 10 unguided 5-inch HVAR rockets. Inside the cockpit, the pilot used the revolutionary K-14 Gyro gunsight, an analog computer. The pilot could preset the wingspan of the enemy fighter on the sight dial. For example, 32 feet for a Messerschmitt. During a dogfight, he would continuously turn a motorcycle-style twist grip located directly on the throttle, causing a glowing circle of diamonds on the glass to expand or shrink. As soon as the enemy's wingtips perfectly touched the edges of the diamond circle, the computer automatically calculated the perfect lead angle, factoring in G-forces. Hold it steady in the sight for 1 second, pull the trigger, and a hit was almost guaranteed. Starting this monster required strict discipline. Battery and generator switched to on. The fuel selector valve was set to the left main tank. The pilot turned on the fuel booster pump and an incorrect mixture control to idle cutoff. Once the giant propeller had turned through several blades, the magnetos were switched to both, and the mixture was pushed to regular. With a deafening roar, the V-12 roared to life. When accelerating down the runway, the throttle had to be pushed forward extremely smoothly until 61 inches of manifold pressure was reached. Otherwise, the woodland torque of the propeller threatened to instantly tear the aircraft off the runway to the left. With a heavy stomp on the right rudder pedal, the pilot kept the machine on course until it clawed its way into the sky. To fly all the way to Berlin as an escort, the Mustang needed gigantic range. Besides the 184 gallons in the main wing tanks, it had a massive 85-gallon fuselage tank directly behind the pilot, and often 275 or 110-gallon drop tanks under the wings. Together, nearly 489 gallons of fuel. This immense fuel arsenal demanded strict management by the pilot because it harbored deadly risks. During takeoff and the first leg of the flight, the fuselage tank behind the pilot had to be emptied first. When full, the sheer weight shifted the center of gravity so far aft that the machine became dangerously unstable. Anyone entering a dogfight in this condition risked an immediate, deadly spin. Once this tank was safely flown down to under 25 gallons, the pilot switched to the external drop tanks. Halfway across enemy territory, these would run dry. If the squadron was attacked by the Luftwaffe at this exact moment, every second counted. The pilot switched the valve back to the main tanks, jettisoned the drop tanks, and suddenly the Mustang was aerodynamically clean. It lost its drag, became extremely agile, incredibly fast, and ready to dogfight on equal terms with the best German fighters. By the end of the war, Mustangs had destroyed nearly 5,000 enemy aircraft in the air, more than any other Allied fighter in Europe. The P-51 secured Allied air superiority and protected tens of thousands of bomber crews. If you want to see another legendary fighter aircraft that used the exact same Rolls-Royce engine to win the Battle of Britain, please click the link right here. Thank you for watching. Breaking down such a complex aircraft for a film like this was a challenge. We had to skip some details, so if you notice any mistakes or would like to add something, leave a comment below.